Today we're gonna make garlic butter chicken bites. This is a super easy recipe and it is perfect for during the week when you don't have a lot of time. Okay, so very few ingredients in this and it's really quick recipe. I have 2 pounds of chicken breasts, so that'll either be 3 or 4 chicken breasts depending on how large they are. We're gonna cube them, we're gonna season them really well with salt and pepper, and then we're gonna dredge them in this flour. This flour is just for dredging the chicken. Okay, it's gonna allow it to get a little bit better color on it when we sear it. Neutral oil, avocado, grapeseed oil, anything you like to sear it in. Then we have a half a cup of dry white wine, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 8 cloves of minced garlic. I have about 3 green onions that are sliced, and I have a little bit more than a quarter cup of parsley, and then a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Because this recipe is so darn quick, if you intend to serve it with rice, make your rice first or use like an instant rice. And if you want a green vegetable, I would recommend doing a roasted vegetable. Do that first as well. So I already have my oven on at 435 degrees Fahrenheit, and I have some broccoli right there that I washed. So that is going to be the first thing we do before we even sear our chicken. Okay, so this recipe serves 4 people. So like 2 pounds of chicken is good for 4 people. So I would get like 3 little crowns like I have here, or 1 large head of broccoli for a side dish. I'm just gonna chop off the end here. You can use that, but we're moving fast for this recipe. We're not doing a timer. I know many of you loved the timer when we were doing, what was those, the 15-minute recipes we were doing, yeah. Tara? Yeah.
The timer sound was a little jarring to some people.
Yeah, they weren't the biggest fan of it. I get it. Maybe we could just do those type of 15-minute recipes, but don't do the timer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have extra virgin olive oil here. I'm just gonna put a lot on there. And I'm on parchment paper, but the oil will always go over the side anyway. Makes cleanup a touch easier. Okay, good amount of salt. Black pepper. And then I'm just gonna come back and hit them up with even more olive oil. Now you don't have to do this like how I'm roasting it. You can just steam your broccoli for a far healthier option and you won't have any oil involved. I just love the simplicity of this. We're gonna throw these in the oven until they're nice and golden. If you want it burnt, you're gonna cook it longer, maybe a little higher temp. If you don't, and you want it just to be nice and roasted, it's gonna take about 20 minutes. Okay, for the chicken, and now I just leave these out on this wire rack in the fridge for 24 hours. It just dries the chicken out, which will help when we're searing it now, so we're not like boiling the chicken. We wanna get really nice color on it. You can also salt it overnight. Okay, I didn't do that. So I'm just gonna cut it down the middle, and then I'm just gonna cut it into chunks. Okay, like 1.5-inch chunks, roughly. Okay, just like that. So all my chicken is spread out right here, and I wanna season this well with salt and pepper. Okay, if you wanna know the exact amount of salt, like to have it like properly salted, go for like a 1.25% of the weight here. So we have a little bit less than 2 pounds of chicken. Let's just round that off. Say we have 900 grams. So basically right here, you'd be like 2.5 teaspoons of diamond crystal kosher salt. Okay, a lot of nice pepper. Okay, I'm just gonna like try to push that salt and pepper into it. Okay, I'm just gonna try to flip these over a little bit. Okay, and just come back in with some more salt. Now we're gonna use that hot red pepper, so I don't need any more black pepper here. Same thing, let's just press that in. So this is just a half a cup of flour I have right here. Just take the chicken, put it in there. You could do it all at one time or you could do 2 batches. I should probably be able to do it all at once. All right, shaking it up, getting it really well coated. And then I have a parchment paper lined baking sheet. Now, again, you could use like tongs or something, but I'm going in barehanded. Yeah, make sure if you have any pieces that you didn't cut all the way, that you break them up. Having flour on this chicken is gonna help it get a better sear, but it's also gonna help it kind of absorb the butter garlic at the end. So if you don't wanna do it because say you can't have flour, you're gluten-free, you just have to keep that in mind. All right, so we're gonna put this off to the side. So if you like main course recipes, which I'm sure you do because you're watching this video, I wanna let you know about our new cookbook, Sip and Feast Family Favorites. It has plenty of main courses in there. In addition to that, it has all the other sections you would expect to find in a cookbook. It is a beautiful cookbook, 256 pages, over 100 recipes, beautiful photo, nice instructions, good story in every single recipe. It has US customary and metric measurements, so everybody will be able to follow along with these easy recipes. Right above you is the link where you can buy it. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all other sellers. QR code if you're watching on TV, which I'm increasingly aware that the majority of you are watching on TV. It's also pinned in the comments and in the description. If you don't like cookbooks, you just like watching our videos, buy it for a friend or family who does. Thanks. Okay, this goes super quick. So I'm using a stainless steel pan. Just use a pan that you can get really hot, and will give a good sear. So stainless, cast iron, carbon steel. I'm gonna heat it to medium for 3 minutes before I put oil down. So I have my chicken over here. And then this thing, quarter sheet, I'll just put in my chicken as it cooks. It's gonna take 2 batches. There's no way, if you put it all in one batch, you're just gonna boil the chicken. You're not gonna get any color on it. So just depending on the size of your pan, it's gonna take a couple batches. Broccoli's almost done. All right, we'll get this nice and hot. Put down your neutral oil. Give yourself enough in the pan. You could always take some of the oil out at the end, but give yourself enough that you can do the chicken nicely. Okay, I want to do about half of them here, and I'm just shaking off excess before I put them in there. See, if the pan's heated up, even initially, they're not going to stick when you put them down. You should be able to do this in 2 batches. And you can add a little bit of butter in here. That's going to help it brown a little bit more. I might just use one of the pieces of butter for that now. Tends to give it a little bit better color. Second you put the butter in, nothing is splattering really with the oil. Once you put the butter in, everything is going to start splattering. But you don't have to do the butter if you don't want at this stage. You could just do oil. And just leave them alone. Let them get nice and golden for 3 minutes before you flip them. That's been 18 minutes on the broccoli. All right, I think that's nice, good, ready to go. So chicken's been going for 2 minutes, but it probably a little bit longer might be better. Okay, so it's like that initially. I'd like to get a little bit more color on it. We'll wait 1 more minute. So it's been about 3.5 minutes. So see, now that's what I want, like that, nice and brown. Okay, when you flip them away from you so you don't flip it towards your nice shirt. Probably about 5 or 6 minutes total. So we did about 3.5. We'll do about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes on this side, and they'll still be fine because they're nice chunks. And then we'll finish it at the end with the nice sauce. All right, so that's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna take these out of here. And same thing, next batch. I'm gonna repeat for this batch. If you need a little bit more oil, which I do, squeeze it in there. And use one of these so you don't make a huge mess like I did. All right, so just listen, turn the heat off. This was the second batch. Turn it off when they're brown. And don't worry, if some of them aren't cooked all the way through, we're gonna be tossing it at the end. But I want you to turn off the heat now so when we put the butter and garlic in, it doesn't burn right away. You can check these with a little instant read thermometer if you're concerned, but you want to err on the side of undercooking them because you're going to finish them in at the end. So I'm just going to tent this with foil to keep it warm. I'll let that pan just cool down a sec. Okay, and while that's cooling down, I can wipe off some of this grease that is everywhere. If you have too much grease in the pan right now, too much of that oil, you can just take it out. I'm gonna take out most of that because we're using all butter now instead of having that, the avocado oil, which isn't ideal really. Just leave the brown bits in there because that's flavor. And I would say the pan is cool enough now that we can add our butter and garlic. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat on to low, very low. All right, and the garlic, 8 cloves minced. If that's too much for you, use less. That's all you have to do. So listen, I want to let this go until the garlic gets almost golden and just really flavors this butter. Okay, so see, now the garlic is right at that golden stage like that, which is great. And then you can put in your hot red pepper. And now you can make this really spicy if you like, which in my opinion would be great. Okay, put it in for a second, then take the wine. That's a half a cup of dry white wine. And now just turn the heat to high. We're gonna boil this and we're just gonna reduce this basically by half or even more just till it gets thick again. So you're probably asking, this dish is similar to just any Asian stir fry. Yes, you can put soy sauce in it. You definitely can. The acid component I'm putting here is the wine, which you definitely need an acid component in every recipe. But if you didn't have acid in here, If you took the wine out, it would just be garlic and butter, and it would be very one-dimensional. So if you can't use wine, you could use a splash of lemon juice and chicken stock. That would be fine. Some vinegar, you know, like a chicken scarparello sauce, or you could use soy sauce, which is an acid. So I'm just gonna let that come together. See that thickening up now? Now we're just gonna return that chicken in here. You can lower the heat now to medium. And just put the chicken in with the juices from searing it. And just like get everything coated well. You don't have the right spoon, like I don't, use something else. And that extra bit of flour is just gonna like thicken it together, let everything stick. But again, splash of soy right here would be great. All right, I'm gonna let this go for about 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. You can see how like just nice and glistening that is. All right. Smells great from the wine. Put on some parsley. Some of the green onion. You could save some of the parsley and green onion for topping on each person's plate. Okay, just toss that together. It's just a home run dish, like in a very short amount of time, like super, super quick. I'm gonna taste one for seasoning, see if we need to do anything with salt and pepper. Get a really small piece here. It's outrageous. I am gonna put a little bit more hot red pepper though on it. Hopefully the taste tester will concur. All right, James, I set you up. I know you had this recently, so I made it the same as last time. Mm-hmm. See what you think.
Nope, so good. Didn't make it with rice last time, though.
I wanted to serve it with rice for people, and I also suggested maybe a splash of soy sauce. What do you think?
Yeah.
See what you think. I'll just do it over here, okay?
I'm gonna try a piece of this broccoli.
That's just roasted broccoli with olive oil, salt, and pepper. I didn't want to make garlic broccoli, too, with massive garlic chicken.
It's good like this.
Yeah. If you want more like sauce in here, you can use a little bit more wine, or you could use some chicken stock with it, too. Simple as that.
It's definitely better with the soy sauce. I don't know, I think they were a little better last time, actually.
A little better last time?
I
What was wrong?
think they're a little dry this
A little
time.
dry?
Yeah, it's good with the soy sauce.
Might have overcooked it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that.
I mean, I think you had a little piece. Why don't you try a bigger one? Next time, you know, if you have more time than me, cut them all uniformly. I would assume the bigger one's not going to be as dry.
Maybe could use a little more of the garlic sauce, too. But overall, it's pretty good. It's great with the rice and the broccoli. I think definitely add some soy sauce on it. I think I'm going to give this 8.5 out of 10.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Definitely for the amount of effort that I put into it, which was one of the easier videos I've ever made. I mean, it was an easy video for me to make. That means it's going to be an easy thing for you to make, and you can customize it to however you like. If you want more sauce, just add a half a cup of chicken stock with it.
What about like making more of the sauce, like doubling the sauce, and then after you roast the broccoli, like tossing the broccoli and the chicken all together in the sauce?
You can. I mean, if you're going to go with the chicken and broccoli route, I would just do standard Asian fare. Just, you know, steam your broccoli, then just mix it all in.
Okay.
You know, because it's so much simpler instead of spending that time roasting it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when you make chicken and broccoli, you do your broccoli first, you know, almost like not blanch it, but shock it.
Yeah.
And then that goes in at the end after you make your silky sauce. I make all Asian food. I just don't like do it for our website or videos. I used to be obsessed with it. Like over 20 years ago, I was buying like every Thai ingredient I could find from eBay. I was buying like galangal and kaffir lime leaves, and like I was making the curries from scratch. And then I learned that every Thai restaurant like uses just a canned paste. So
I made Thai noodles before.
You did?
Yep.
You did?
Those were good.
Yeah,
Those are really good
for a video.
Yeah, maybe we should do it. I mean, I wasn't veering into talking about Asian food in this recipe, but I guess that's where it went to once, you know, James put some soy sauce on it.
Yeah, it's good with that.
Yeah. Maybe we should do a video for butter chicken, James.
Yeah.
Anyway, James, thanks so much for doing this, for always being a taste tester, and thanks for being honest. I think people appreciate your honesty a lot.
Yeah.
And I know some people out there appreciate the fact that I leave it in and don't really edit these things out. I hope you do anyway. On that note, we will see you next time.